So in Anderson Varejao's 12-year NBA career, all of which being spent here, I think he exemplified everything that we want a Cavalier to be about. I think the legends that are here today would agree with that. Andy is a player that, both in addition to what he did for us as a player and with his basketball talent, his diligence in getting back from injury year after year, his hard work, his effort, his intensity, those are things that are going to be remembered here. They're incredibly appreciated. It made this trade an incredibly difficult one to do, both on a human level and in a real sense. It was a very difficult phone call to have. There's very little I've enjoyed less in my professional career than letting him know that he was traded. At the same time, what we have done is add a player that furthers our cause. We believe very strongly that we've added a player that's a great fit for what we're trying to do, both on the court and off, both from a floor spacing standpoint, from a versatility defensively standpoint, and frankly just in terms of knowing exactly what he needs to do and what his role is going to be. I've been with Channing in the playoffs multiple times in Phoenix, and I know what that looks like. And our team is about to find out that he knows exactly how to do what we're asking him to do, and he's going to do it very well. So with that, I'll take any of your questions. How about that? You'd think I could dress myself. Sorry about that.
Jeff Shadell, News Herald. So what is his role going to be?
Well, I think, again, we envision that he's going to be a complementary piece. He's a floor spacing shooter. He can guard both 4s and 5s. His length will enable him to play some 5s that we may not have been playing currently as well. Again, we're not getting him to be a defensive stopper. I don't want to say that at all, but he has versatility there. And this is not a non-defender. This is a very smart team defensive player. His value to us, both in Phoenix in the playoffs and on every team he's been on, has been greater than people anticipated, and we hope that continues. But this is a complementary piece that fits our existing group very well.
David McMenamin, ESPN. Did you guys accomplish what you wanted to accomplish today, or were there other things that came close or you weren't able to get to?
Yeah, I mean, we're always greedy. I mean, you'd always like to do more, but yeah, we're very comfortable with what we've done. We feel like we've got a piece that is going to be accretive to the group, and we continue to add and move forward. Some of what we did today in terms of improving our sustainability is important. It also opened up a roster spot that we may be able to use as we continue through buyout season, so that was also meaningful to us. So this had value for us in many ways, and there were many layers to what we did.
Hey, Griff, Tom Withers, Associated Press.
Hey, Tom.
With the looming spike coming in the salary cap, what effect do you think that had on today on teams either being cautious or maybe not doing what they had hoped to do?
I think that had some role. I think a bigger role is really that so many teams are still playing for today. There's so many teams in the middle right now. There's so many teams that are still trying to be playoff teams, and as well they should. You know, this thing is very wide open in many circumstances, and so I think because of that, there were fewer sellers, which made it very difficult for buyers. So that, I think, limited movement. But certainly the cap changes are going to make players under contract more valuable. So I think in some cases, people that had big expiring contracts weren't getting the value they hoped to get because the guy was most likely going to walk.
Joe Vargan, Cleveland.com. David, I don't want to put too much on him. I mean, you've already said he's going to be more of a role player, but how much better does this make your team? Is this a move that helps you win in May and June?
If he plays in May and June, sure. You know, we believe it is. We believe it's a move that gives us more versatility. You know, it's really important, and Ty will speak to this, I'm sure, but it's important now that we have 2 floor spacing shooters in the front court and 2 defensive rim protecting presence. It's really important, I think, in terms of fit. And we looked at it, you know, our group, we've got an incredible group of people that work here and that spend a lot of time on the basketball side of this. And from an analytics perspective, we spent a lot of time on what it looked like, and from a scouting standpoint as well. And yeah, we hope it's a piece that really furthers the cause, and if nothing else, because our roster balance is so good now.
Jason Lloyd, Agribiga Journal. A first-round pick seems like a high price to pay for what I don't know if you can put a percentage on how much better you got, and shaving 1.3 million ish or so in salary. How much pause did you take over that, and is there a risk involved in just giving up that pick for maybe a percentage better than what you were this morning?
Yeah, there's a risk, certainly. This isn't something that we did lightly. It's something that we did really wanting to augment a group that we have high expectations for. And that doesn't mean we have high expectations for Channing, other than the fact that he's going to fit in exactly as he would need to. But yeah, it was a risky thing to do. It was also something where, again, from a sustainability standpoint, it does give us some versatility moving forward with our cap structure. There is a slight difference in payroll there that had absolutely nothing to do with the money as much as it does the sustainability and how you can use that remaining space. So that was part of what we wanted to do as well, was give ourselves a little bit more of an option as we move forward. And to the point Tom made earlier, the fact that Channing's under contract for 3 years with a really clearly defined skill set, the number of people his size that can make playoff threes is really small. And having him under contract for that length of time was something we felt good about as well.
Tony Cartagena, ESPN Cleveland. Did you address the team regarding trading Anderson Varejao today, and if so, what was their response? Obviously, he was the longest tenured Cleveland athlete in general.
So no, I did not. The team was gone after, or by the time we got the deal completed. I didn't address them specifically. We did talk to many members of the group in terms of the player we would be adding, what their view of him as a competitor, as a teammate would be. We got that input prior. We did not discuss with anybody the player that would be going out, because it was something that we just thought would be unfair. But we did ask questions about their feeling for Channing.
David, Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Consistent minutes have been tough to come by for some of the guys at the back end of the rotation, including Andy. So with Channing coming in, is that a conversation that you had to have with him, and how did he respond when you let him know that, hey, you might not be playing some nights and then other nights you may?
We're really blessed to be in a situation where ownership's invested to such an incredible level in this. It becomes something that players know about. They really want to come here. Channing's incredibly happy to be coming here. Channing had agreed to come here as a free agent the year we got LeBron, and we ended up not being able to make all the money work. But had we not gotten LeBron, Channing would have been here before, I suppose. So he's very excited about playing any role he can in terms of furthering the group. The one thing that we do think is going to be meaningful is we've really had a hard time finding consistency of scoring from the bench, and Channing offers that in a way maybe that others don't, so that may improve his likelihood of playing.